This is a Gathering Heritage project interview recorded in County Louth in Ireland.
Now, I'd like to welcome Damien Keenan to our Gathering Heritage project.
It goes back to 1645, the present building. But that possibly could have been the second. They say it's the second castle on the site. But the reason why that happens is back in those days, what happened was a family would the Irish, first of all, for Castle Bellingham is Baile on Garlónig, which is Garland's town. So that must have been the family in the area, was Garland's. And they would have built, say, a tower. And the next generation will build another tower, and the next generation will build add on. So that's the way, like the castle.
It built up.
Built up, like it's like I don't know, like a project where you start and it takes maybe 50 years to build it. So God knows, like anyone doesn't intentionally start to build their house or their castle and say it's going to take me 50 years to build it. You know, it all depends on what builder you have at the time. But that's. It goes back to 1645, the present building.
Now, you mentioned that you were in Dublin and you came when you were one. And what, like, did your dad intend to buy the castle? Well, how did that work out?
He looked at several opportunities at the time.
What did he do, by the way?
He had a couple of shops, 53 North Strand Road in Dublin.
Doing what?
It was like a store, general store with an off license. So you'd come in and he used to bottle his own Guinness and do all that. And they had their own, like he technically was, we were always told he was a butcher by trade.
And so, why did he pick Dundalk?
Well, I know he looked at the time, the site where the Green Isle Hotel is in Dublin.
He wanted to get into the hotel business. I
think so. I think that was the next progression for him. Like he had two shops, so he wanted to expand. And I think tell you what, it probably was just the opportunity at the time.
But was there a hotel, a restaurant
in the castle?
And bed and breakfast never in when he bought it? Or did he do it himself?
Well, the family that had it then was called Meehan's, and Mr. Meehan himself, he was captain. I think he's a captain was his rank, maybe even higher, in the submarine corps, and that's what he had at the time. So that's come back. Well, that would be back in the 50s, and then when he retired.
Listen to the full interview on www.gatheringheritage.com.